It is beyond belief fun to be here today. And Josh, I love your introductions, but you left out something. We're like this.
Yes, we are.
Just be one of many, but I don't have the big responsibility you do, which is being the oldest. That's a lot. That's a lot to handle. So I am thrilled to be here and talk about something near and dear to my heart. And we're going to talk about weight loss. But first, let me say, and I know a lot of people have not really been bringing it up too much because we're sort of still stuck in this COVID issue. But what a year. It's been very challenging for a lot of people. In fact, surveys on WebMD have noticed that people are suffering from extreme, not feeling so great, gained weight. So this is a time, and it's so good to see you all here for resetting, for saying, hey, I need to refresh myself. And have really had quite a time with gaining some weight. So as we go through every January, we always say, hey, it's time to set some goals and drop some weight. But I am going to give you the secret to that. And I'm hoping that my PowerPoint will change. I'm operating here with my phone as a clicker. And there we are, secret to weight loss. This is so awesome. Okay, so let me start by saying, what can I possibly tell you that's going to be new? Well, I have a secret. There it is, protein. There is something new. We are discovering more. And I'll tell you one thing, what impressed me about NeoLife when I came to join the board some 3-4 years ago was that the progress that NeoLife had made, the knowledge that NeoLife had in terms of making sure they were on the cutting edge. In fact, they were doing things before a lot of scientists could get it out to other people to be definitive. So this whole idea that protein is key to weight management is really it. So I want to focus on that, but John did a great job at letting us know all these different health problems, and Dr. Beck, we do have to pay attention to this. It is important to stop the weight gain creep. So many of us gain weight and we then start suffering as we get older from cardiovascular disease, pulmonary disease. And now we know that if you have some of these risk factors, that if you were to suffer from COVID, it makes your recovery tougher and actually serious complications. So I think we're all in agreement that being obese, gaining weight as we're adults is rather a challenge. And it's a challenge to your health. But I want to get us on track to refresh ourselves, to start with a healthy wellness approach, and to look to NeoLife Shake to bring that in, as well as Pro Vitality to help us with our weight control. So if I were to tell you that, okay, let's lose weight, and let me get back, my phone is being sensitive, I want to say the struggle is real. What can I tell you if you say to yourself, hey, I've tried losing weight before. I usually go a couple of weeks and then I get back and I see these tempting foods. I have a sedentary lifestyle and sure, I get out and walk or run, but it's a bit of a challenge. Well, I want to stop right now and change your mindset. Did you know that all of us as humans are working with a set of genetic material that is from our ancestors? And I don't mean European ancestors or African ancestors. What I mean is prehistoric humans. Picture how they had to survive. They didn't get food, certainly not donuts and soda whenever they wanted. They were hunters and gatherers, and we evolved from their genetics. If they were to lose weight, they might not survive. If they were to lose weight, a woman might not be able to maintain a pregnancy. So guess what? Our body is programmed to defend against weight loss. It doesn't want to lose weight. Keep that in mind, because all the mechanisms that come into play stem from that. So I want to take a look at energy balance and how that's impacted when we try to lose weight. You'll notice here I have a scale. Calories in come from fat, protein, and carbohydrate. Those are called our energy nutrients. The more we eat, if we're not burning it with our calorie output, so metabolism, just the amount of calories you need to keep your brain going, keep your liver operating, the cost for digestion and assimilation of food, and physical activity. Get up out of your chair and walk around. I hope you did that at the break. So calorie intake has got to balance calorie output. If you take in more calories than what you're burning, your body's going to take that extra and, for the most part, convert it to fat and store it. And that's how we creep. And that's how, over the past several months, a lot of us have managed to put on a pound or two, or some estimates are calling COVID-19 19 pounds. So we don't need to point fingers. We just know that there are some concerns. Well, what research has shown, and this is from Harvard School of Public Health, from many other international universities, is looking at the role protein takes in all of this. If you want to lose weight, you know, I'll cut out some fats, I'll cut out sugars, and I'll cut back on the amount of everything I'm eating, including protein. Well, actually, that isn't a good thing. Let me circle here over on the right-hand side, that when you lower protein intake, that actually impacts the number of calories you're burning. We didn't know this before. We need more protein when we're trying to lose weight than when we're maintaining our energy balance. Protein actually impacts the metabolism, how many calories you burn at rest, thermogenesis, the digestion costs, and also physical activity. So let's take a look a little bit closer at that. So if we look at some factors about why we have thought about this, of ice cream. Why did I do that? Did the ice cream jump out into your lap? No, you made a conscious effort to sit down with that bowl of ice cream. There are feelings of fullness or satiety and feelings of hunger that are managed, I mean, literally managed by hundreds of different factors. And researchers are trying to tease that out to make sure that they know how best to address it to help with weight loss. And I just want to pick two that seem to play a big role, and that where protein comes in. We have hormones in our body, one being leptin, that's made by fat cells as well as muscle cells, and they lend feelings of fullness to what we call satiety. And then there are protein, short protein, small peptides, and others, one called ghrelin, that comes out of the stomach. Now, do you know that feeling when you go on a weight loss program and you just, by the third day, you're, okay, I've had enough of this. I need a bagel and cream cheese, or I need a bowl of ice cream. We get ravenously hungry and we blame it on ourselves, saying, no, we're weak-willed. We don't have the willpower. Why does somebody else have it? Remember, we're designed to defend against weight loss. This isn't an issue of being weak-willed. Your ghrelin levels are spiking and are driving your brain to say, I want to eat that. What can we do about that? How can we get control over it? Well, research shows that protein needs go up to help manage and suppress those cravings that we have. Research supports a higher protein intake. Dr. Stuart Phillips from McMaster University in Ontario has investigated this, along with many other researchers, to show that our protein needs during weight loss go up 50 to 100%. 50 to 100%. And it's not about just sitting down at dinner and eating 2 steaks. It's different than that. It's getting protein throughout the day. And what's so important is that this increased protein need helps suppress ghrelin, change appetite levels, help you feel full. So you, in a way, you're tricking your body to say, no, I don't want to defend against weight loss. I do want to lose weight because I want better health. And that's what your body is about. So when we look at putting this together and talk about that very first meal that we have, I have some breakfast type foods pictured here. I have NeoLife shake. I have some other items, a breakfast burrito. We have egg. what research shows is you start that day with a good 20 grams of protein. You want to reduce those feelings of hunger. You want to control your cravings in that morning time. And studies show that by having a good dose of protein in the morning, that you can actually reduce the amount of food you eat later in the day. And also what I'm showing you here is that the types of protein are important. High quality protein versus incomplete protein sources. When I use the word quality, what I'm referring to is the profile of amino acids, in particular, the essential building blocks that you need to build hormones, muscle proteins, and all other types of body proteins, of which you have 10,000 different ones. And what we can look at here now is a day's worth of eating. And I'm giving options here. This isn't a perfect menu to follow. What I do want to show you is we have a breakfast there of NeoLife shake, which has 18 grams of protein, and a NeoLife bar. So that's 10 grams. So we have a total of 28 grams. Quick, I had to do the math there. 2 hard-boiled eggs, as another option to go with the shake, or however you want to mix and match it. But the important thing is get that day started with protein. Continue on with eating lunch that contains protein. We have a good source with cottage cheese. We have a dinner with fish. And certainly you can utilize NeoLife shake as a replacement meal. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that because NeoLife shake has been researched publicly by an institution and published. So getting in this high quality protein is critical to what we need to do to help us lose weight. Well, to take into consideration why might NeoLife shake, and this was developed years ago, again, NeoLife Scientific Advisory Board was thinking ahead of the curve as to what's important with weight management, and that is to glycemic response. And I want to show you what that looks like. We jumped ahead, unfortunately, on my frame here, I think. The NeoLife shake was studied clinically with 68 participants in a 12-week study, very well controlled. We took individuals that were overweight, that's identified by the body mass index, as well as obese, a body mass index above 30. And what they did was give up their regular meal plan. They had a NeoLife shake for breakfast, a healthy snack, another NeoLife shake, a healthy snack, and a balanced dinner. So they got this adequate protein we're talking about. The researchers looked at measuring their changes in body weight, as well as very important metabolic parameters, such as insulin levels, blood cholesterol. So this was a very, very thorough study. And what the researchers found is that NeoLife shake was clinically proven to deliver results. That's a big deal. A significant amount of weight loss. Some participants lost up to 23 pounds over this 12-week period, but the average loss was a bit over 5 pounds. There's a reduction in body fat, 10%. That's a really great take-home message here. A lower body mass index. Some people even fell out of the obese category. The effects that were noticed and documented around the cardioprotective measures, how that was determined was looking at LDL cholesterol. That dropped. That's the carrier of cholesterol that can damage blood vessel walls. And the HDL, or the good carrier of cholesterol that's protective, was left unchanged. So that's why the ratio was improved. So it's great to see that this has been looked at closely. The controlled glycemic response may help also explain why these participants and you have done so well with using the NeoLife shake as a means of weight loss. See that green bar that goes across the shaded region? That is a healthy band of blood glucose levels. If we follow that blue line, then we have modest up and down. After eating a meal, glucose goes up. That's the basic unit of carbohydrate. Glucose comes down. That's a normal body response. If you eat refined carbohydrates, Oftentimes people observe a large up, follow the red line, and down, and it isn't glycemic controlled. And that's unfortunate because that can follow with spikes in insulin levels. This in turn can impact fat synthesis in the body, protein metabolism, and much more. So consuming a meal replacement that is controlled for the glycemic response is critical. Well, let's take a closer look to see what's inside the NeoLife shake. And I'd like to look in to see how many grams of protein. Well, I apologize. I just lost my connection, unfortunately. I've reconnected. I have to reconnect. So just bear with me as I take my cell phone here and do the code again. Not sure why that happened, but we're going to work with it. Here I am back, I hope. Okay, are we there? Okay, so let's take a look at what's inside a NeoLife shake. And I think it's important that we tease out these differences. So in case you're comparing with another weight loss product, NeoLife shake is biologically complete. There are 20 different amino acids that make up your body protein. NeoLife provides an additional 2 that are offshoots of 2 of these amino acids. But what's so important is that NeoLife shake has a very high quality score. Remember that protein quality? The quality score, a measurement to determine how good that protein is, it's as good as the quality score that you would see for fish, for egg, for chicken. You get 18 grams of protein per serving and branched chain amino acids, which I'll tell you about shortly, but they are an important grouping of amino acids that we find in muscle that are involved in protein synthesis. 5 grams of satisfying fiber. We know that water-soluble fiber helps you to feel full, and with only 104 calories per serving, and remember, Dr. Beck talked to us all about the various nutrients. You get an array of critical nutrients from NeoLife shake. Now, what about those branched chain amino acids? They have names, not that you should memorize, but leucine, isoleucine, and valine. We find many of these particular essential branched chain amino acids in your muscles. And anybody that is a real workout person knows that they want to get those in the diet. Why? Because these essential amino acids called branched chain are involved in building new muscle protein as well as the essential. Leucine in particular stimulates or triggers the what's called mTOR for your muscles to build more protein. And we don't at all want to lose our muscle protein when we are trying to cut calories. We want to keep that lean mass. We want to stay fit. And I would assume that you are doing some exercises with weight loss. So you can also turn to NeoLife's performance shake, and let me show you what's inside of that. The performance protein is a muscle match protein blend. So this comes from, with no soy addition, whey, milk protein, and another milk protein called casein. So it's all dairy protein. There's a high dose of branched chain amino acids, well over 5.5 grams, and 2.6 grams of leucine. So any bodybuilder out there probably knows right away that's exactly what you want. You need also a protein to carbohydrate ratio of 1:1. And again, we have that great profile of essential vitamins and minerals. So what I urge you to do is rethink your approach to weight. And rather than at weight loss is instead to look at that it's not, let me go backwards again, we're having a time here. It's not you not having willpower. There are many people who are successful. I encourage you to go to the weight loss, weight management guide that NeoLife has put out. It's stupendous. A lot of success stories, a lot of explanation of more of this and why the Pro Vitality with the NeoLife shake. As Rebecca in this picture, that's some significant body shape change. You can do it. You can do it. And keeping that mindset and saying, you know what, I need to go work against my prehistoric genes that tell me I don't want to lose weight. I do want to lose weight. I want to be healthier. So I'm going to have more protein in my first meal and throughout the day. And what's the amount we were aiming for? At least 20 grams. And you can do that. Remember, NeoLife shake and a bar combined, that's 28 grams, a really good dose to start the day out with. Thanks so much, and thanks for bearing with me. And I look forward to seeing a lot of you at another opportunity with NeoLife.